In this video, we will look at Verizon Communications, ticker VZ. We will look at the main segments of Verizon business. We will look at the revenue, their dividend, is the dividend stable? We will see what super investors are buying the stock and at what approximate price. And then we will try to come up with a fair value of Verizon stock. So let's get started. First of all, if you are not subscribed to the channel, you can do this by pressing the subscribe button under the video. It is absolutely free and you will not miss a single new video. Verizon Communications provides wireless and wireline solutions for consumers and businesses. The main segments of Verizon are consumer, business, and corporate and other. 71% of the revenue comes from consumer, 23% comes from business, and close to 6% comes from corporate and other. The fastest growing segment is consumer. Here is the revenue of Verizon for the last 10 years. The revenue grew from approximately 110 billion to 130 billion, which implies that for the last 10 years, the average growth rate, the compounded annual growth rate, was close to 2%. Okay, a lot of investors are buying Verizon for the dividend. So now let's look at their dividend. At the moment of writing the video, the dividend yield for Verizon is 4.9%. The payout ratio is less than 50%. The payout ratio is the amount of income that is paid to shareholders in the form of dividend. So the less the payout ratio, the more stable is the dividend. So the payout ratio of less than 50 is something that I want to see in the dividend stock. We can also see that the dividend itself increased from 1.24 to 2.5, which implies the compounded annual growth rate of the dividend of 7%. So Verizon has a high dividend yield, a low payout ratio, and the dividend itself is increasing around 7% each year. When researching a stock, what I really like to see is that if gurus, super investors, are buying the same stock, and if yes, at what price level. And in the fourth quarter of 2020 and in the first quarter of 2021, Warren Buffett entered a significant position in Verizon. I believe this was the largest position since he bought Apple in the recent years. So this is a very positive sign. It is very hard to know the exact logic of his purchases. Maybe he sees the stock as a bond alternative, but right now it is possible to purchase Verizon even at a lower level than Warren Buffett did. The lowest price in the first quarter of 2021 was around 54. Right now the price is close to 53, so we are able to purchase Verizon even at a lower price that Warren Buffett did. Also, Verizon has a large amount of debt, and this risk was outlined in their 10K report. The sensitivity to interest rates can affect their interest expenses, so that may be a significant risk for Verizon. Okay, now let's try to come up with a fair value of Verizon stock. We will use a free cash flow yield as a valuation metric. Free cash flow yield is free cash flow divided by market cap, next 12-month free cash flow. The average free cash flow yield was 7.8%. Right now, the free cash flow yield is close to 8%. So if Verizon was traded at the average free cash flow yield for the last 3 years, its price would be close to $54 per share. Right now, the price of Verizon is close to $53 per share, which implies that according to this metric, Verizon is trading around its fair value. Okay, for dividend investors, Verizon may be a great choice. It has a high dividend yield of close to 5%, it has a low payout ratio, and the dividend itself is growing at around 7% each year. Also, I like the fact that Warren Buffett himself owns the stock and bought it even at a higher price. On the negative side, I don't like that Verizon has a large amount of debt. It has a high sensitivity to interest rates, which is a significant risk factor. I believe Verizon represents a low risk, but also not very high reward situation. Also, if you are a dividend investor, here is the video on AT&T. It has a high dividend yield and a very interesting situation with the spin-off of Warner Media. If you are not subscribed to the channel, you can do this by pressing this button right here. It is absolutely free and you will not miss a single new video. Thank you very much for watching till the end and see you in the next video.